has delineator. This is State Route 3 West. It's a JCP section. It has joint sealant along the edge joint, but as you can see in the centerline joint, it was never sealed. It has been sawed, but very shallow. We're talking less than 1/8 of an inch in width and probably 1/4 inch in depth throughout the length. We do have the material sampling holes 50 feet prior to the section. As you can tell, the deterioration along this edge joint is severe. That's where a lot of the pumping has come from. There's sinkholes on almost every single one of the edge joints, as you can see in the photo on down. We'll take closer looks at those. Really, other than that, pretty boring section. Again, this is sunk. I think we were getting readings of almost 20 mils in areas. If we would have measured it right next to the edge, we probably would have got more like 1 inch. But anyway, the transverse joint sealant material is very hardened, and it has opened up in a lot of areas. We did have occasional spalling, but not enough to count on a lot of these. I only got one joint that had about 0.3 meters, maybe a little bit more than 0.3 meters of spalling. Again, you can see the sink holes right here along, or blowholes along these edge joints. Again, some of these have totally lost the material along that area, but there were no cracked slabs, no longitudinal or transverse cracking, no corner breaks. So really we just had longitudinal joint sealant damage in every transverse joint, high severity. This is 150, so about 153. We had a core hole, 6-inch core hole. But like I said, just joint sealant damage, the one longitudinal joint and all the transverse joints. No map cracking or crazing or any issues to speak of. As we go along, we're about station 3. There was a tire gouge in the outside wheel path. There's a little bit of spalling. Not enough to count. Again, sinkhole pumping around that location. You can see all the weed growth along that longitudinal joint. Again, that gouge looked like some of these tires went off and kind of chiseled the surface. Station 4. There's another good example of the amount of sinkhole that we've got there with the pumping along these joints. Some of them very severe. But amazingly, the section is intact. Like I said, there's no cracking. Transverse joint, the faults were getting close to 5 mils based on the fault meter. There's our sampling at the end of the section. This section is associated with the SPS4, the 40A4 sites. And that concludes the survey. This is section 4086.